Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here, and welcome to another episode of Challenge Accepted. Today, my good friend Shannon Allor, known as She's Crafty on YouTube, and I are taking on the challenge that was posted at the Redefined Creative and Secret Not Secret Kit Club commercial site last Thursday. It's the Thursday night sketch of the week, and this is the sketch. I'm I must say that while I love the sketch and I will no doubt love the layout that comes out of it, it takes precise measurements, and that's not me. So we'll see how well I do with this. As you can see, I've got it laid out here on my desk mat, my table mat, and it was doing that I came up with, if these are 3x3 photos, this is about an 8.5 by 1.5 strip of paper, and same goes for this one down at the bottom, and this is a 5.5 by 1.5. This is a 2.5 by 1.5. So I've pre-cut those, as you can see, and I've used two sides of a single sheet of paper from Whimsical, Paige Evans, Whimsical for Pink Paisley. And I've got another sheet, this yellow, which is meant to pick up the yellow in Ava's dress. Doesn't match the yellow that's in Whimsical. It's a horizon color, and it came from a paper pad, but I think I'm going to use it anyway, and I think I will learn to love it. I'll probably bring it in. I have a horizon yellow flower here and a horizon pink flower, and the rest of my flowers that I have gathered here, whoops, there goes, sorry about that. The rest of the flowers I have came from Whimsical. So I'm going to, right now, I've kind of determined that for absolutely perfectly even placement, this 3x3 picture comes 1.5 inches down from the top. This one is 1.5 inches up from the bottom, and then the others are kind of about 1.5 inches. It kind of splits the difference here. What I'm going to do is put it on a white page of paper. In the sketch, there's stitching, and I don't do stitching if I can help it. So what I thought I might do instead is to draw freehand lines, maybe double or triple lines around each page of paper on the white part, not on the paper itself, not on the strip itself. And I thought I might try to do something like that around the photos as well. That's kind of an idea I have. I may change my mind as I go along. So let's see. Let's work on this now. I'm going to say that that's about 1.5 inches down. This is about 1.5 inches up. I'll kind of measure it somewhat here. That's about right for there. And I'm going to go ahead and glue it down in place because I don't really want to do a lot of measuring as I'm putting the rest of it together. So I'm going to do this, and this is really, there's probably a much easier way of doing this, but I normally place things very kind of haphazardly, and I make up for it with flowers. I cover mistakes with flowers, so that's kind of something I do there. Let's see. That doesn't that's not working out, as you can see. So the 1.5 inch is not working out. I'm going to bring this down maybe 1 inch from the top of that one. This kind of works this way. The problem with that is, will these work now? 2, 3. Yeah, that's gonna be okay. Okay, so not the same measurements as I had laid out there, but somewhat enough so that I can have the lines, the paper strips going there. The problem is the horizontal spacing, and I apologize for being kind of a ditz with this. It's not a it's like I said, it's not something I do often. This is a very, very different kind of sketch from any that I've used before or probably will ever use again. But I did have the perfect photos for it. So now I'm going to do these. And again, the dimension is going to come not from foam, except maybe on the flowers. I'll do that one there. I'm going to let these strips and the photos be flat, which is something, again, something I usually don't do. But because I have in mind to draw some lines around, I may, I will let that kind of provide some contrast and dimension as we go along. Okay. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing as I place these. I have no idea how I'm going to embellish other than with the flowers, which is perfect because the girls were sitting in our garden that was out by our pool. The older girls, Allie and Katie, were 7, and Ava was almost 1 when these photos were taken. And there's a whole series of these. These are 4 of maybe 20 shots that were taken, and it was a little like herding cats to get anything like a studio shot. Okay, so there's, I'm actually not unhappy with how this looks on the white paper. In fact, I love it. I thought I would use this light wood grain wooden word family without painting it. I like it as it is, and it goes nicely with the color scheme. I have some other scripty words that I would also like to use, but I think I'm going to put this on first because it'll be the defining the main one, and it contrasts nicely. It extends a little under and over this 1.5 inch strip. Okay, now I'm going to start. I like this word love. Thought it might be nice right here, but I'm not sure. And I have good times maybe going like this and then centering it under like that. And I have a tiny, not so tiny, I have a star I can use to dot that eye because I've lost the die cut eye. Okay, so what I thought I might do now is just pull a bunch of pop dots and do the embellishing with flowers and leaves. And I think As I said, that's where the dimensions going to come from. I had in mind doing this right here because it's a coordinating color of kind of a salmon-like pink, like this stripe is, and it doesn't clash too much with the hot pink color of Allie's dress. But I thought I might do, let's see if I can find another color for here. That works great. I'll put that down under there, and then I'll layer this little hot pink flower down here, and that, without being right up next to Allie's shirt, it looks like it brings that color in. I'm kind of treading, I'm using a group of supplies that are in my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit that was built on supplies I got at the spring Rediscover Your Stash Secret Not Secret retreat in Oak Harbor, Ohio. I like that leaf there, and I like that these beige kind of creamy colored leaves bring in this same tone as the wood. So that's kind of intentional there. And I've got this one that could go here. That works well. And in those supplies, there are a number of different manufacturers, but two of the main collections are Paige Evans Horizon and Paige Evans Whimsical. There were two kits from Christina Sorge at Secret Not Secret that were built on those two collections. So I'm going to glue down this Good Times with wet glue. Use my Times here, kind of a little overlapping that leaf. Again, I would maybe normally look for something with a little more dimension. Now I have some round dots, one in a small pink one, a small, let's see, I'm trying out this bright pink. That doesn't look quite right. That's not quite the right color. I'm gonna go with Allie's shirt color and dot it with a star. And now this good, I'd maybe like to overlap there, and if I did, I'd want some dimension and maybe, let's see if I can work it in with this leaf. I'd want some dimension achieved with some foam tape or a foam dot. This is silly that I'm trying so hard to do this, and I don't even know if this is gonna work. So let's say if I put a dot here, a dot here, a dot here, and a dot there, that might lift it up enough to give it dimension. And instead of whole dot, I'm going to cut a little round dot and stick it there so it doesn't show. And here. I have no idea whether this is going to work, honestly, but it will maybe give me, it won't be hard to undo, let's say, if it doesn't work, and then just glue it down normally. So I kind of get that back this way. Okay. That shows, so let me get the curved side. Well, actually, let me trade this smaller one for that smaller spot. I apologize for not having figured this out before I started filming, but sometimes I like videos where there's some decisions that are made kind of on the fly, and I like it when some of them aren't the best decisions, and you see the process of kind of going back and undoing something. This is not really sticking very well because there's not a big surface for it to stick, so got things are sticking that aren't supposed to, and things that are supposed to stick aren't, and I've lost a dot. Who knows where? In any case, let's do it kind of this way. Let's try that. Okay, I do like that it gives some shadowing, and it doesn't have to be perfectly, you don't have to have every last bit of it supported by a pop dot in order to get that shadowing that's nice there. So I like that. That was a good decision. Now I need something right up in here, and I'm kind of liking this blue flower. So let me get a fairly large pop dot there. I've kind of covered the corresponding navy blue flower in the pattern paper. So let me get, let's see, I've got beige leaves here, so I think I have only one beige leaf left, so I'll kind of put it off to the side here. I have two of these leaves that are green. That kind of covers that nicely. Let me do this. I love, in case you hadn't figured this out, I love scrapping with floral images, probably because I love gardening so much, but also because you can really brighten up a page and soften hard lines with flowers. Flower images are always organic and nice to take away some of the squareness, particularly in this design where there are lots of hard edges to those strips of paper. And you may question my doing what I'm doing here, because I said I was going to outline all of these, and I will do that, but I'll outline after I've got it embellished, or let me put it this way, I'll decide whether I need to outline at that point. So I've now, this image, this strip across here has beautiful floral images, and it's already somewhat softened. This one has the diagonal stripe. I've softened it with the leaves and the flower there. I don't think I need to add another flower, but if I wanted to, I could. So let me maybe try that. And that. No, I think I'll leave it as it is, and maybe this is where I'll have that word love, and I will admit freely that this word love is a piece that has been shuffled around in my stash for a while, or at least it's been mistreated, to where there are some bends and marks on it. Okay, there we go. And it doesn't bother me too much to cover up, because I've got 4 photos of the girls. You're seeing, no matter, here I'm kind of covering up Allie's hair. Well, here you get a full view of her hair. So it's not bothering me to do that. On this yellow piece is where I may use these pink flowers that I rejected there. And in this area, I may also use that horizon yellow that kind of brings in the color of the background yellow there. So let me put my first one out there. I want something that's a little bit bigger. So this last flower was here close to the photos. I'm going to maybe put this one, start building this one a little closer to the edge of the page. You'll see the yellow is kind of getting covered up a bit, and that's okay. I think there's enough to bring out the color of Ava's dress. And let me do this. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'll put that one down underneath so it's somewhat, there we go. And these are built up. Okay, not gonna use those. Let me go through here and see if I can match any of these leaves that I have here. There's one that's that color green. I've got one that's blue. I'm trying to find, I've got that color green. Let's look at my types of leaves here. Blue, green. I'm probably okay mixing types of leaves, but if I can avoid it, I'd like to. This looks like a blue one, maybe? Yes, okay. Okay, this will work. I've got a couple of these, and this brings in that navy blue, so I'd like this one kind of out here. And this one, oops, I don't want to drop it on the floor. That doesn't really help the layout. What I want to do is I want to leave that tiny bit of yellow showing here, so I don't want to put the leaf here. I think I'll do it up here this way. Okay, so with a little bit of journaling, this could be complete. But my question is, do I want to add the freeform lines? I think I'm going to go with the lines, and we'll see if I regret it. Okay, so that's the one. Let me come down here and do that. I've, of course, made things harder for myself by doing it afterwards, but I almost had to see it put together to know whether I wanted it or not. And I kind of like it. It's not meant to be perfect, so where it is imperfect, I'm kind of going with it, and I'm going to elect not to mind that. So if you watch my videos often, you know that there are lots of things I choose not to be bothered by. If I tried for perfection, I'd be sorely disappointed. Okay, I've got a little bit on this yellow one. Now, after I'm doing the strips, the lines, do the strips. Do I need them around the photos? I think I'll go with them around the photos. Should I do exactly the same kind? I think I will. And these I let go to the edge of the page, so the lines will go to the edge of the page. These photos are kind of close together, so of course there won't be a line there, and there, and there. I kind of like that additional bit of interest and dimension, and it doesn't matter if the lines cross or not, the two that I'm drawing. And the more wonky they are, the more I like them, actually. The more they look like kind of a freehand, something freehand that, an idea I got at the last minute, and it kind of is. So I'm going to call this finished. I'll have some journaling about the date. It was in summer of 2009. As I said, Allie and Katie were 7, and Ava was almost 1. It was a photo shoot in the fairly newly planted garden around our pool. So we didn't have much growing there at the time. And these are sisters always. So hope you enjoyed it. And this is another challenge accepted. I hope you'll check out Shannon's video. She's doing the same sketch. I'm sure her take will be completely different. So enjoy, and I'll see you out there. Bye.